Hi and welcome to Geekology. I'm David.
And I'm Sven.
And we've been asked to do, quite a few requests to have our opinions on the Discovery trailer on film. And I agreed to do it on one condition. I get to do a little rant first. Because it's the only way I've agreed to do this.
Yeah.
I really, really strongly and passionately hate and dislike ranting about trailers. I don't mind saying, yay, that looks good, or boo, that looks bad. But pulling a trailer apart is a waste of everybody's time because it's all out of context. And whilst you might see a ship here, they might not use it. Or you might see a thing there, it could be it just... we waste so much time, and then we get into big debates with one another about whether something's a good thing or a bad thing. We don't even know what the thing is. I have hated this in all fandoms for a very long time, even though I participated in it slightly a bit when I was in my 20s. But aside from that...
K&G!
Okay, but aside from that... hang on, I did not do that in the trailer. I watched the episode.
On point.
Okay, right, so that little rant over and done with.
Yes, to be honest, we did think we were going to try and avoid doing anything about Discovery until it started airing, didn't we?
I specifically said, I'm not doing this.
But so many people have asked.
And so now we're doing it.
So don't be surprised if we don't go off on one, because there's nothing to go off on one about. Yeah.
Oh, I disagree.
2 minutes.
If I've got to go off on one, I've already picked my topic.
Okay. Is that by any chance the fact there's 2 different trailers?
No.
Okay.
Because in my mind there's only one trailer, and it's the one that Netflix put out because that is a Star Trek trailer, not the trailer that CBS put out, which was let's start getting people waving flags.
One thing that might be worth bearing in mind is that the CBS trailer was produced for their investors.
Yeah, Netflix went for the fans.
And Netflix went for the fans, even though they cocked up the start of it.
Okay, there was a grammatical error.
Yeah. They altered the meaning.
See, for me, it's the Netflix one. Not because of the music, although that was good. They used a lot of the same shots, but not all of them. It was about, 20 to 30% difference?
They used them in a different way.
But they set a tone that felt far more Star Trek. The CBS trailer felt more like a trailer for a film. Come watch a big new action movie. Yeah. Where the Netflix trailer was we got Star Trek.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. No, that's not my big beef.
Okay, what's your beef?
The new uniforms.
Yes, but it's not in the way that everybody else is having a beef with it, is it?
I don't know.
Everybody else is going,
okay,
it's not proper Trek, it's not what it was in the cage.
I've stuck my fingers in my ears and gone la 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 every time somebody's mentioned Enterprise. What is people's problems with the uniforms?
People's problems with uniforms is the fact that this series is set in 2255, the year after the cage.
Yeah.
So they're all expecting...
So they want everybody running around in grabby polar necks, and it's not going to happen.
No,
it's not going to happen.
That's been the problem. And
no, but just end it. It's not going to happen. It's gone.
And people have been going that they look like the JJ Universe uniform.
Of course they look like the JJ Universe. It's been made in the last few years.
Yeah,
they are not going to make classic Trek looking uniforms this day and age.
Quite.
No, that's not my issue with it.
I know what your issue is. Go on, because this is bloody hilarious.
Okay, I like the boning down and the fact that the colours represent... I've got no issue with this part. It's all this bit that's made up of all the little delta shields.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea how hard it is going to be to make those things? Oh my good God! I've got a belly! I am not going to look good in one of those. How dare they? And then what did they do with the badge? Oh, we've got a great idea. We'll put the rank on the badge. You are. So now I've got to have 4 of every badge to... No!
Did you notice there were different colour badges?
Yes.
Okay.
That's my issue. It's my only issue. Out of everything, I have 2 issues. There you go. My 2 issues with the whole thing. They went with the wrong tone for the trailer. Because there's a perfect example. 2 different companies put out a trailer at very, very close to the same time.
Well, it was within a day of each other.
But the same product. One of them made me want to buy the product.
Yeah.
The other one made me go, the product's there. Yeah. Okay, so go on then. What's your rant?
I don't really have one. Except for, the potential to rant at certain sections of the fandom because they've gone off on one and you're just like, really, we've lived through this with Taz, we've had it with Taz, we've had it with the motion picture, we even had it with Wrath of Khan, and then there was TNG and everybody threw their toys out the pram, then Deep Space Nine and the toys were thrown even further out the pram.
Okay, I have to say that...
your toys were thrown out the pram. With both of those.
I don't know what he's on about because I was born after Taz. And I was the motion picture. I wouldn't have been able to articulate my thoughts towards.
Yeah,
so,
but there was still the same
within fandom.
Yeah, and you just, for God's sake,
we've seen it with every single film and every single TV series. You know what? This is. I'll tell you exactly how this is going to pan out. We love it, yay! We hate it, boo. Yeah. And then in 10 years' time, some of those hate it boos are going to be like, well, it wasn't a boo.
What, you mean like the people who actually watched the 4th season of Enterprise?
I watched every season of Enterprise.
Yes.
Same as I watched every season of DS9. I didn't particularly like some parts of it, but yeah.
In the pale moonlight.
Yeah, people have done it for every film and every TV series, and it's going to end up with people going, yay, we love it, or boo, we hate it. And you know what, in 10 years after it finishes, some of those boo, we hate it's are going to be going, well, I thought it was alright.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, so everybody's going on about the look of it. It looks like it was made in 2017.
It was made in 2017.
There we go.
I tell you what, you know what this trailer should really be about?
What?
How come more Star Trek fans are looking forward to Orville?
That's because it's next gen.
Yeah. It doesn't get it.
It's next gen with people we recognise.
Yeah.
Including people from Star Trek.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued with the green uniform. I'm like, which department is that? Are you sweeping up leaves? What? It's Park Ranger.
TNG was blue into green, depending on the colour of the
teal.
gabardine. It was
Teal.
Anyway,
back to Discovery. 2 instances of seeing the reasonably traditional...
Klingons?
No. Reasonably traditional Starfleet command badge, which you see on the main character's spacesuit, and we see it in the background on that suitcase. Fairly good choice of actor for Sarek, obviously.
Good choice of actor all the way around.
Oh,
They're all decent actors.
They're all decent actors, absolutely.
There's a couple of people we don't know. Guess what? We will soon.
Yeah, quite.
I don't think they're going to be paying them that much money if they can't act. I'm not that worried about the acting choices.
A lot of people are throwing their toys out the pram over the Klingons. And it's like,
it's a make-up change. So there could be any number of 1,000 reasons for it. Including the fact that, it's a new series.
Yeah, and the fact that the uniforms that they're in look like one of the very early motion picture concept designs for the uniforms.
Yeah,
which is no real surprise. Because considering where the Discovery's come from, it's like... it's like, did they just go to the 1970s Paramount notebook and just go, we'll use that, we'll use that, and shall we use that in Beyond? Yeah, we'll use that in Beyond. Yeah, that's what happened. So all the stuff that was rejected, we'll use that now. Okay. But the Klingon makeup isn't that different. It isn't. They've got bumpy foreheads.
Yeah, Klingon makeup.
And it's a slightly different design, and it's got a slightly more augmented ridges.
Why
wow.
did Classic Trek not have ridges? Because it was more expensive. How can we board it in with TNG? Because we had money. How can we figure out a way of doing it? You know what? We'll throw in an episode of Enterprise that can explain the whole thing away. And look, suddenly everybody's going, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, of course it makes sense. They paid some very, very creative people to sit around the table going, how are we going to do this, guys?
Yeah. I mean, one of the early things...
Let's get Brent Spiner in. Really? Yeah, we're good, it'll be good.
And that worked as well.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things is that the leaked out of this production very early was the Klingon sarcophagus ship, which everybody went, that doesn't look like a Klingon vessel. There's a reason for that. It's because it's an ancient Klingon vessel. And
how many of the sleeper ships did we ever see?
Yeah, and this is the other thing, is that the sarcophagus vessel has like a bridgy bit, and then a neck, and then there's a main bit with a couple of wings either side. That sounds awfully to me like a D7 battle cruiser. It's just got spines on it.
I'll tell you what, let's just be happy with the fact that we saw a flippy communicator. Let's just be happy with that. Can't we be happy with that? Can't we also be happy with the fact we saw it what looked like a decent spacesuit?
Yeah, and also one of the press shots that was put out a few hours before the trailer came out has a very, very tricordery looking pouch.
Well, the Klingons had very, very weapony looking stuff.
Yeah.
Only in the Netflix trailer, though.
Well, yes. Now, this is the other thing. Is you noticed, and I noticed, I'm wondering how many other people noticed, the Klingon mummification glyph behind them.
Well, I think we're considering they're bringing up a Klingon sarcophagus. I'm hoping most people went, no.
Yeah, it's like
But the thing
4.
is, even if people don't know that that's what that glyph is, it doesn't matter. Do you know why it doesn't matter?
Because
they didn't get to explain it in the episode.
Yeah, quite. So, they're probably ancient Klingons. They've got huge ridges.
What? Why do people care?
I don't know.
Seriously.
It's going to be explained. In fact, if anything, I think that might be the main thrust of the entire story.
You reckon that might be where they're going with?
Being as they introduced the Klingons in the trailer for the pilot.
But like they did with Enterprise.
Yes.
Funny that.
Yeah. It'd be quite strange.
It almost be like another spin-off going, you know what, the Borg tend to work quite well. Should we have them appear quite a bit? Alright.
Yeah.
It's a nonsense. I don't see, why get upset about something you've not seen?
I mean, this is the other thing as well, is that they touched on it a little bit when they did the Star Trek Phase 2 New Voyages episode called Kitumba, which is where there was a movement within the Klingon Empire to move back to the houses and back to being about honour and so on and so forth.
Here's an idea, let's give our characters back history,
Yeah. And of course the Klingons in the original series weren't very honourable and were a bit backstabby and nasty and...
So they were bad guys written for a couple of episodes that weren't that well thought out.
Exactly.
Who knew that a bunch of... Let's face it, at no point were they going... Do you reckon anybody in 50 years' time is going to be watching this, critiquing our work? It's
for Errand of Mercy.
Just no.
Was it Errand of Mercy, the Organian episode?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
At the end of the day, the original series was wonderful and fantastic and a marvellous thing, and I'm a big, big fan.
I probably took this time.
I hold it separate to the Next Generation, and I hold the Next Generation separate to DS9, and I hold it separate to Voyager, and I definitely hold it separate to Enterprise, and I hold the whole lot separate to the films.
Yeah.
Because they're all separate damn things. They're loosely based in the universe. And people get really het up. Oh, they've done this, they've done... Do you know the only time I've ever actually got het up at Star Trek and just went, what the... And just went, I can't be bothered to watch this episode. I stopped it, I went away, and then I came back to it going, I suppose I ought to watch this rubbish. Boom. No, when they introduced the Borg into Enterprise, that just struck me as being the most ridiculous thing. But even then, I sat down and watched it and went, oh great, yeah. So all the really advanced people couldn't figure out that the cold stopped the Borg. Who knew? It just... At the end of the day, every single series... At the end of the day, it's night. Every single series is completely separate. It's loosely based in the universe. Mm-hmm. There will definitely be plot holes.
Yeah.
They will definitely ignore whatever version of canon you've got running around in your head. They will definitely ignore whatever the actual canon is, because the writers don't always check with everything. They have fact-checking people and canon people who sit there going, ooh, you can't have them running as they come out for transporter beam. I believe you'll find in the movie we had a motorbike. It's all ridiculous. They will try and not make too many gaffes that they know the fans are going to rip them on. That's all they're going to do.
So are you saying there won't be any phasers coming out of photon torpedo tubes?
Well, like in Next Generation.
Yeah. But not on Blu-ray.
Actually, to be fair, I think as far as just outright mistakes go, this series will probably be very good on that sort of thing. Mainly because they're making some of it up as they go along, but also because of the way that they've been funded and the people they've got working on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the thing. Nick Meyer's working on it. There's going to be, which is probably why the mummification glyph was there, because that's from Star Trek 4, which he ghost wrote.
To be brutally honest, the thing that I'm really grateful for with this series is the fact that Netflix are the people paying for it, not CBS.
Yeah.
Because that means it stands a really good chance of not being cancelled.
For those of you who don't know what we're talking about there, basically Netflix have pretty much paid for the entire of the first season to be produced on the basis of them having the worldwide rights outside of North America.
And then they extended it from 13 episodes to 15 episodes. And
which is unheard of.
Netflix's business models for their own shows, their Netflix original shows, and for the shows where they part fund, because there's a few shows they part fund, they have an excellent business model, and one of the things that they really try not to do is annoy the fan bases.
Yeah. Because
they know that fan bases are great for them.
And I think we can assume, because Netflix is paying for this, that it's going to be in 4K. It's going to be HDR. It might even be Dolby Vision. Yeah. So when it comes out on Blu-ray, it's going to be
they won't
gorgeous.
need as much faffing around.
Yeah. So because this is the thing, even with Netflix at 4K HDR, you have to have a really, really nice connection to that for that to not be stuttering and buffering like no tomorrow. Well, so a lot of people will end up with the Blu-ray simply because the quality will be better.
Well, the thing to remember is, in the UK, Netflix accounts for 8% of the pay-to-watch capabilities.
That was some time ago, wasn't it, 8%?
8% was beginning of this year.
Okay.
So, yeah, couple of months out. I get the feeling that when they actually release it, it's going to step forward. Now, it's really ironic because I only became a Netflix subscriber beginning of last year because I wanted to see the new Arrested Development, because I was a big fan of that, and they paid for that to be redone. I like their business model.
Yeah.
I had no issue with the thing. I mean, I know a lot of Americans are going, oh my god, you expect us to pay to watch Star Trek, which I totally get because CBS are charging. But it's nature of the beast.
Yeah. It's the only way this kind of thing will get made these days.
So as far as the trailers are concerned, as far as I'm honestly, the only thing I will say, please watch the Netflix version of the trailer. Yeah. That's it. That's all.
If you're in the States, try and get hold of that, because you might be geo-locked. But
there are ways around that, and YouTube are pretty easy.
So if you're in America, try and grab the Netflix trailer. Obviously, there was very little in the trailer of the Discovery itself and the Discovery crew. And we didn't even see the captain of the Discovery, which is Captain Lorca, who's played by Malfoy. Jason Isaacs. Yeah.
No issue. It's a trailer.
Yeah, exactly. It's a trailer for the pilot, most importantly.
Yeah. Not even for the series. Yeah. And we've seen some dramatic differences between pilots and series.
Yeah, quite. So it'll be interesting. I mean, we're going to enjoy it. Let's be honest.
Probably.
Unless they really screw it up, we're going to enjoy it. Question is, would you like to see Captain Pike in Enterprise? Would you like to see the Farragut with Lieutenant Kirk on board?
Of course I would.
There we go.
It's a no-brainer. Of course I would. And I'd really like to see them in the new versions of the uniform rather than the original versions of the uniform. And I'd like to see it in a redone version of the ship because it's in keeping with the universe and the timeline. I don't need to see them all in the original gear. Purely because different time. Well, you could argue different universe, different timeline, different this, different that, different that. Yeah. My good old-fashioned argument is this is the way it looks now.
Yeah.
There you go.
Quite. I mean, at the end of the day, if you want an explanation, how many times has the prime timeline been fractured and rewritten? And
Kirk did it every other episode.
Yeah, Temporal Investigations love him.
Yeah.
Absolutely love him. And now he's a lieutenant on a leading Constitution class starship called the Farragut. That's going to be hilarious if Temporal Investigation turn up for that one. Yeah.
As I said, there's no end of things that you could or couldn't. It all boils down to the same thing. Until we see it, there's nothing to say about it.
Yeah.
Other than Yay! Some interesting looking, very expensive to make uniforms. That's going to be... I'm just looking at the badges going, the badges alone are going to cost a fortune, let alone trying to make those dolls. Yeah, I think I'm going to end up just buying uniforms, because that does not look like someone...
And someone at Anavos just went, cha-ching!
Yeah! Anavos goes, we're in the money! Yeah, it's... No. Right, well, okay.
So, are we hoping for September the 8th? Are we?
Yes, we are.
Yes,
Does that count?
That counts.
Can we turn this off now? Because I hate talking about trailers and nonsense. Right,
But then
well...
there's the Orville.
No, that's a trailer that... Yeah, I don't mind talking about that trailer. That trailer, I've been pushing on people going, this looks great!
Yeah.
Because it looks great!
Yeah, you know the ship is a physical model as well.
Yeah.
And you know it's going to be cancelled after about 13 episodes because it's on Fox.
They might have learned their lesson.
And then it'll come back for a one-off movie where they kill one of them.
Everybody mocks them no end for their decisions, so hopefully this will be good. Right, well, I think that about covers it for our nonsense. If you want to continue reading nonsense, there's a Facebook group for Discovery and people ranting about trailers. Yeah. Apart from that, you can subscribe to us here on YouTube. You can follow us on both Facebook and Twitter. And of course, there is the official Geekology website. Thank you for watching and goodbye.
Goodbye. Taz, yeah. The animated series.
Sorry. You're going to have to tell. Taz?
Yeah, TAS. The animated series. Taz.
Oh, I just know. 3, 2. I am an animated series fan. I've never heard anybody call it Taz.
You've seen it written down.
I've seen it written down, but it's ridiculous to hear somebody say it out loud. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. The end of the day. Oh, please edit me saying that out. At the